I honestly believe this is very specific to Southern California because it's your mid-range. You're taking it in the kelp, you're taking it in the blue water, you're shooting big yellowtail, but you're also slipping through the kelp shooting white sea bass. I always like having a float line just for visibility, especially when you're out there with partners and the viz is kind of bad. You're trying to figure out where they're at, and a float line going down is probably the most key thing you can see to find your partner. Yeah. My name's Chad Colorinum. I've been diving for maybe 5-6 years now. I first started diving because I wanted to swim with the whales, my bucket list item. And I took the FFI courses, and then eventually, just to get in the water more often, I started to hang out with spearfishers. And then as I started spearfishing more, I started realizing that there's products that I wanted to use more, and something was a float line. Originally it was just an idea for me. I just wanted something that wasn't going to tangle as much, or that's more flexible in the water. Something at the length that I was comfortable with, and it seemed to be in the 60-80 foot range. And that's when I started to play with the idea of these rubber float lines. After 5 years, this is what it's become. It's working with a lot of factories, trying to figure out the product, the right material, and then also testing, having them come bring it over and then testing the product to make sure it'll last over time. And throughout the times, I've went through maybe 4 different factories, and there's some that weren't good, and this is the ones that lasted longest, so this is the one that I finally came out with. Natural latex rubber, and it has a ultra high molecular weight polyethylene core, which is basically lightweight, abrasion resistant, and it has a high tensile strength, so it won't break under pressure. This is your mid-range. It's not going to be your heavy-duty tuna killer, but it will take on your 50-60 pound fish. But the mid-range is good for your hand. It fits in the glove. Anything thinner, it starts to get a little, it's like almost like trying to pull a shooting line, you know, or a real line. It's not comfortable. So when you get a little thicker, you have a little bit of grip with the rubber. 60 feet seems to be the range that we're doing a lot of diving at. And usually what we want is to stretch to 80. So a lot of times if you shoot a bad shot and you kind of want to soften that blow, we want it a little bit of stretch, but also have enough stop on it to pull it in when you need it. So right now we have one size. The next size I am looking at is 80 feet. That'll stretch to 100, 120, but it's going to be a little thicker diameter for your bigger fish. That's in the works though. So this rubber is a lot softer, a lot smoother. It's more flexible and viable. So it's not gonna tangle or hold memory, and it actually slips through the kelp a lot smoother than your average float line, just because of buoyancy and the flexibility. So when you do bring it out in the water, it's gonna float as you swim and as you dive. So these are the 2 colors right now. I think the next one's going to be more of like on the pink level. This one actually looks in the water. Underwater, you'll see it looks almost white. The ends are hand spliced out of the same material as the core, and it's hand spliced so there's no knots. And the reason I went with this is because I was tired of having the shark clips bang against the gun and also rusting and bending. So I decided just to keep it light and keep it on the rope and keep it quiet. So especially when you're chasing those white sea bass. So it's basically just your regular fisherman's knot. I loop it up the top, leave yourself some tag end. Then I usually roll it down 2 to 3 times. And then I just make a loop and then get it through there. Just so you can have enough to pull it out later when you want to release it. So if you're in the water, you have a tangle or something and you need to get everything fixed up, and you need to move it out right away, you could actually undo it in the water and get it back out. Yeah, so if you have any rips, tears, or breaks on it, just bring it into the shop. They'll reach out to me. I'll get all the pieces replaced. It's small feet, and we'll get everything back into you within the same week.